Chennai Super Kings fans will be picking out their hair and they'll be irritated with the way the Chennai Super Kings have finally found a way to win. But unfortunately, it's come at a time where they have no chance of making the playoffs. They won their last two games and they put pressure on their opponents. Yesterday, the Kolkata Knight Riders was subject to a 6-wicket loss that has really dented their chances of making the IPL 2020 playoffs, considering that they have a very poor net run rate. A lot to talk about the match that happened yesterday between CSK and KKR. Welcome to Sportskira's IPL series Power Play. I'm your host Prasen Maudgal, and along with me is our cricket expert Indraneel Basu. Indraneel, let's just start off with one topic that's really been trending on social media yesterday. Finisher Ravindra Jadeja is here. Over the past seasons of the IPL, we haven't seen finisher Ravindra Jadeja coming to the fore too often. But this season, he's produced innings of substance. And yesterday, the 11 ball 31 really demonstrated what he can do with the bat towards the later half of the innings.
Absolutely. And he was not doing well with the ball, for sure. We know how he's been hammered all over the park. In fact, it was a surprise inclusion, in the ODI and T20 team when we saw Jadeja being in that lineup. But I think he's there in the ODI team, right? Also. So that was a little bit of surprise for me. But the way he's batting really well. He's done it quite a few number of times. Yesterday, in a matter of 3 balls, the course of the game changed, and Loki Ferguson was a hero. First game he played for KKR yesterday was not his particular night, and
Today he was hero for CSK.
and yeah, I mean he was a hero for CSK, but this is how the nature of the game is. You just need 3 deliveries. I was discussing this with one of my very close friends. He only pointed it out to me that how game changes, and I completely agree with him that this is one format which you can't really predict. I was just seeing at the seeing the points table. If you see, CSK also has got some wins. It's a difference between top team and the bottom team is only 2 to 3 matches. And this is how it is. And you win some matches, you lose some matches. Overall, if you see the competition, no team is actually bad. But coming to Jadeja, we thought he's just over with the bat. With the ball, it's absolutely showing no signs of improvement. But with the bat, he has showed little bit sign of improvement over the last few games. And yesterday was the ultimate finisher, Jadeja coming and coming to the party. It was really a treat to watch the way he smashed the ball. Those 2 sixes of the last deliveries. There was absolutely no pressure. He was enjoying every bit of it. And also, for all the viewers who joined in, there was a little bit of duels on the field. That helped his his stroke making ability to a great extent, which is not something I'm going to take away what Jadeja did on the field, because you have to soak in that pressure to win matches. But it was always unexpected. I knew KKR would lose the plot because of the thing I told you in the past, Prasen, and to all the viewers, that they don't have, they don't rightly back their talents, which is why they're paying for it. You have to pay for it, whatever you sow, you'll have to reap that. So that's important in life. You have to face the consequences. So it's not a surprise for me at all. Jadeja thing is a little bit of surprise. He's doing well. It's good for the country, but KKR, I'm not happy at all. I mean, they have not taken the right calls in the past, and they're paying for it right now.
Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, we have been a huge advocate of KKR not doing well since Dinesh Karthik stepped down from captaincy. Yeah. And yesterday he did produce a good knock. His innings really propelled KKR to a total above 170. But again, the middle order failed, and in the absence of Andre Russell, it just seems like there's no stability in that batting unit. And with one remaining game in that competition, they need to win it, and they need to win it big. Do you think they still need to sort out those issues? Otherwise, there's no chance they can make the playoffs?
Yes, there's a huge question mark tonight, as Prasid rightly pointed out before the show. It's going to be a very important match for Kings 11 Punjab. If they can defeat, they will really race ahead in the competition, and KKR will be under a lot more pressure than what they are in right now. But I sincerely hope Kings do well, because they've really entertained the fans here in last 5 games. I don't see them not winning the sixth game, because the momentum is with them. Rajasthan Royals, of course, is a good side. They have done well over the years, but they are a good side. They can obviously, spring that surprise which CSK did last night. Anything is possible in T20 cricket. So I won't be surprised if something nasty happens to Kings. But Kings are on a roll right now. Let's not put about any nasty words right now here. Kings are on a roll. They're doing well. The captain is the vice captain of the Indian team. The morale of the side is a lot better than any other side you can think of. They deserve to be in the top 4. So it's going to be important. But KKR, they simply, nothing seemed to be working. The only guy who's been consistent, but he's not a typical T20 cricketer, because he plays mostly copybook cricket, and that is Shubman Gill. He's looked good in different matches, and he's been more or less consistent. Another guy who's really impressed me was Nitish Rana. The way he played yesterday was quite a knock. Present, it was superb. His application, he plays all over the wicket. There seems to be no. There's no. People don't seem to recognize the fact that he's someone also with a huge potential to play for India, but he's been never considered. I hope all is well with him, with Virat Kohli, because they play for the same team. But Nitish Rana was brilliant, isn't he? Wasn't he last night? He just whacked the ball. He was in superb touch, and playing those big sixes at will. I really enjoyed his batting, and he's done it in the past also. He's done it for Mumbai Indians from the time he came into the scene in 2016. Overall, there are a few individual performances which you can pick out of the KKR camp. Even Dinesh Karthik looked good, whatever little he played towards the end. But the force of the team is lost. There's no force. There's no momentum in this team, and momentum is equal to force into acceleration. So it's not happening. It's not there, and rightly so, because they're paying for their whatever mistakes they did in the past and changing. And the biggest mistake they did was changing the captain midway through the season, which was sort of something which hasn't gone down well with the rest of the squad. The morale of the side is low, and that's why they're losing matches from winning position, which is sad.
Yeah, absolutely. And it comes down to their batting unit. They really haven't been able to find stability. Players are, it's pretty much like a musical chairs. We've said this often, that players keep changing roles. That used to be the case with Kingsland Punjab, but they finally seem to have found a solution to that. But with Lockie Ferguson going away for runs, just might be an off day. But do they really need to find a way to get someone like Russell back into the side if he's fit? And they'll need someone to step up with the bat up front.
They don't have that many matches left to try out something new, unfortunately. Whatever experiments they tried doing, they've already done it, and I don't think there is scope for any more. As far as batting is concerned, the constant changing of the batting order. I think this has also reflected on their performance, and the fact that they're unsure about their own players. That is what is reflected on the field. And once the mind is not settled, this is what is going to be the outcome. If a settled team is playing a game, you'll obviously produce excitement. You could be on the losing side, but not losing matches from positional strength. And they've done it quite a lot. And they don't look like a force. That's the word which is missing in KKR. I thought they are a good side. Their franchisee won the CPL recently, and they would reflect the same kind of sentiments. I guess somehow the fact that they were away from all the promoters in CPL in the West Indies, that's why that helped. Because once you have too many people trying to run the show, it really spoils the show. KKR was under a lot of pressure and they came with a lot of expectation. They have to win, and they were so desperate. They changed the captain after 7 games. A captain who won you 4 games and lost only 3, and he changed the captain. And you just whatever momentum was he was trying, Dinesh Karthik, and that was taken away from him. And that's what, if you have a boss in the side and the boss is dropped, and what will the subordinates, how will they be feeling? They were obviously insecure, and it's reflecting on the field that they are nowhere to go. They're really yesterday also I spoke about the same thing, how KKR is not the side to look out for, because they have really lost that tempo, that momentum, which is important. They never had that, but initially, any little thing which went wrong and people started talking about how Morgan should be leading the side. If that was a sentiment, they should have respected that sentiment right at the beginning of the season, before the first match they played. They didn't do that. They waited for something bad to happen. I mean, nothing bad. They lost only 3 games and they lost patience, and now they're losing the plot. I'm not surprised at all, Prasen.
Yeah, and if you look at CSK, they've been a side which is banked on experience, and they're finally giving youth that opportunity. And one man's taken it with both hands. Ruturaj Gaikwad, back-to-back man of the match performances. Only the third player after Murli Vijay in 2010 and Ben Hilfenhaus in 2012 to pick up 2 man of the match awards consecutively for CSK. How impressive is he at the top of the order? And he's also played for India A. Is he someone who can probably be knocking on the doors of the selectors in the coming years?
I just had a word with his coach. His coach is none other than former Indian captain and Mr. Correct, Mr. Dilip Vinsaka. And he's very excited. He's from Pune. He plays for Maharashtra. Rituraj is, of course, which is the most interesting bit about his batting is his timing. He times the ball so well. Yesterday in one of the moments in the match when he smashed Varun Chakravarthy for a 6. He just had a little swing of his bat. He didn't even complete the swing. He just had a little swing and the ball went straight flying. And that proves to show what a good timer of the ball he is. And Rituraj is something who's going to play at the highest level for sure. I was discussing with Mr. Dilip Vinsaka. I told him he is the talent for the future. He's definitely going to play for India. All the people. I was wondering, why was Chennai sitting on him for all this while? Why wasn't he made to play? And when you have a captain like Dhoni, this is why Dhoni is missing the plot. And one youngster being blooded in this fashion, and the entire CSK side is looking better, because they had too many oldies, as we discussed in the past. Also, it looked like a team of veterans. And Rituraj came in and he gave that sort of burst of energy of youth, which made a lot of difference. He's batting so well, and the timing wise, I don't remember anyone who could time the ball so well and so perfectly. As they used to say, Saurav Ganguly was a good timer of the ball. He was a god on the offside. But Rituraj is god all over the wicket. And he's really showing great class. And that 6 I would never... And one of the best 6s hit against a spinner in this format of the IPL. It was such an effortless... this is the magic of the game. You have to have minimum effort, maximum result. And Rituraj's batting talks about that. We have seen Shubman Gill, we have seen Devdutt Padikkal doing well for it. We've seen Sanju Samson, all these youngsters, all the young. Sanju is not a youngster, but I'm overall, the people who have not, the uncapped Indian players. Let's put it that way. People who have not played for India, but they have all the abilities to play for India. And Rituraj has in 2 games has really impressed us a lot. The way he's approached the game, he doesn't take pressure. Look at the sort of disappointment he carried when he got bowled on 72. He really wanted to finish the game, and he's someone who can really stay till the end to finish the game. He looks slim, he's energetic, he's young. He's a sweet timer of the ball. Really, I haven't seen anything sweeter than what he did to Varun Chakravarthy yesterday. It was a brilliant display of batsmanship. I'm sure this guy has a huge future and a great prospect for Indian days to come.
Yeah, and if you talk about one more prospect, he's 29 years old. To me, he was a surprise inclusion in the Indian T20 side, but Varun Chakravarthy got MS Dhoni bowled for the second time this IPL yesterday with a quicker delivery that beat a flick from Dhoni. But how impressive has he been? And for KKR to back Varun Chakravarthy, despite him not playing too much of IPL in the past season of IPL 2019 where he was injured, how good has Varun Chakravarthy been with all his variations? We saw him even beating the blade of Shane Watson a few times.
Yeah. And that ball which got Dhoni out was hurled at 107 kilometers per hour. That was really fast for a spinner. And yeah, he's got all the elements of a good spinner. He can spin the ball. He can add those variation. He's very accurate, which is very important. You have to be accurate. You can't just be wayward and bowling in both sides of the wicket, which Varun has not done it. And in that respect, he's the fact that he's in the Indian team, T20 team, he thoroughly deserves it, and he's there. And selectors had a good look at him, and that's why he's there. He's very good. There's no two ways about it. And he's come from Tamil Nadu Premier League. He's played for his state. Dinesh Karthik also played a huge role in creating what we are seeing right now in Varun Chakravarthy. He's a great spinner and someone who can push. Without taking much of credit, someone who can push Kuldeep Yadav, to the bench, and he's the main spinner for KKR. It takes a lot of character to do so. He's really shown a lot of promise, and I'm sure he's going to do well when he plays for India.
Yeah, absolutely. And the last match that the Knight Riders play will be against the Rajasthan Royals, who will also be playing today. But how important will it be for KKR to understand their policies? Because we've seen that they've tried different combinations in their bowling unit as well. Yesterday, Lockie Ferguson went for too many runs. Is this a sign that they really need to change that bowling unit and get in a bit more experience? I mean, there's not much that they have in the benches, but will they need to push for Andre Russell to be fit, at least in terms of a bowling point of view?
Very tough to say because KKR is left with one more game, and what else what can you achieve out of one game? You're practically left with nothing. You have to just go and do or die sort of situation for them. They lose one match, they're out of the competition. And provided if they win also, there is no guarantee because there are other teams like Kings. If they win today, they have a very good chance of being in top four, remaining in the top four, in that top four section. So it's going to be really tough, and Delhi will have to do well. So all put together, it's not a happy situation. And as you rightly pointed out, Prasen, before the show, it's always going to be difficult when you have lost these games like in this fashion. And with one game left, if they lose this game, if tonight, for instance, if Kings 11 are able to turn it around, then KKR will be under more pressure, as you rightly pointed out, and it's going to be very tough. It's going to be a Himalayan climb for them, for sure, from what it appears. But I don't have a lot of faith in KKR. If I would always want a team in the top four, which will give that competition, which will create that sort of excitement in that playoff, so that the best team from that team would make it to the with the IPL trophy, and that's what I would love to see. And if KKR eventually just manage to make it to the top four, I don't think they will go all the way to play the final and therefore thereafter lift the trophy. They don't have the team. So if you don't have the team, you don't deserve to win top four. Let there be other teams which are more exciting and which can give push the fans to the edge of their seats. Something which Royal is an exciting team. I would rather see Royal on a SRH or a Kings 11 in that top four rather than KKR, because they've really taken a lot of shine out of their prospect. They've lost, and as I said, rightly pointed out earlier, they call it Kolkata Knight Riders. Not a single player from Bengal or Kolkata is given importance in their squad. They don't bother. They bother about everything else except Calcutta. So I call them Calcutta Knight Riders. And there's a huge anti-sentiment, anti-wave in the KKR in Kolkata, because I come from Kolkata, so I know what the people talk about their IPL side. They don't support KKR so much as they support Saurav Ganguly. I remember once Pune, Saurav was playing for a Pune franchise. He was playing a match against KKR. The entire Eden Gardens was supporting Saurav Ganguly, not KKR. Mostly, in fact, so this is how, if you do right things for the city will definitely back you, and there's no two ways about it. Look at the way Punjab was, and due respect to Karnataka, and you're sitting in Karnataka, President, Punjab, Kings 11 Punjab, they made a sort of Karnataka, they were trying to make a Karnataka 11. I mean, due respect to all the players you have, Mr. Nair, Karun Nair and company, then Gautam. But moment they dropped these players and got these Punjab players who performed well over the years at the domestic cricket, and look at the result. They won 5 games in a row, and now they are the stage is rightly in front of them, all set to take them to that last 4. And it has happened because they've catered to the local players, the catchment players, which is so important. Look at Delhi. If just I mean, don't go by what reports are saying. We talked about how Rishabh Pant is overweight and things like that, but Rishabh Pant is a Delhi lad. We can relate to him. There is at least 1 or 2 elements should be there. 1 or 2 characters should be there in that 11, which they can relate to. Surya Kumar Yadav, for instance, Rohit Sharma in Mumbai, Chennai Super King has got a few talents as well, who they can relate to. Dhoni is, of course, more of a Tamil than a Jharkhandi, these days. so you have to have that connect. The local connect is very important, and if you don't have it, you don't have it. And KKR is the only team which doesn't have that. I can't hear you.
Yeah, sorry. There was a little internet problem near my area. You rightly mentioned about the Kings and Punjab, and pretty much answered my next question of what they need to do. But just speaking about today's match, Kingsland versus Rajasthan, both teams need a win to stay in contention. Kingsland Punjab, their it's mostly about the batting order. The bowling has looked good, but the batting has really taken the team across the line on more occasions. Will today be about Jofra Archer versus the Kingsland Punjab, and how much the Englishman does on the day?
He is doing very consistently. Let's not question him. But one man bowling spell can't win you the entire match. I mean, you have to have other performers supporting him. You have to. Jofra Archer has been like brilliant. He's got wickets up front. He's very consistent. He doesn't give you those loose deliveries, which is so important. Initial struggle when he's charging in. You have KL Rahul, the man from the highest run getter in the competition, facing him. So it's going to be a no problem sort of situation for Kings as far as Jofra Archer is concerned. But if Ben Stokes comes out with something special, what he did in the previous game, and then Chris Gayle will have to put his hand up. So there's always that this is going to be a match. Let's not get into who's going to win, who's going to lose. It's going to be a good cricket match, which is what I'm waiting to see. It's going to be a good contest between two batting teams having so many superstars in their lineup. It's going to be really, really interesting, Prasen. And let me tell you, these are the matches which will be remembered. You remember that match Kings played against the Mumbai with 2 super overs. That's the best match we've seen in the competition. And when it comes to Rajasthan, another exciting team, unlike KKR and Kings 11, who have won 5 games in a row. So it's going to be one game. This is a game to watch out for. Actually, as we draw close to the business end of the league phase is about to get over this week or next week, probably. Probably next week it's over, right? Next week it's
November 3rd. November 3rd.
Yeah, middle of next week it's over. So it's few good days, and these are the matches, make or break matches. Let's enjoy, sit back, and let's not judge who is good, who is bad. Every team is good. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, and Kingsland Punjab, they'll know at the back of their mind that they need to win 2 matches to make it to 16, and which pretty much will give them a place in the playoffs, because KKR can now get to only 14. CSK obviously can't get anywhere. They're at the bottom of the pile and are looking absolutely out. Sunrisers Hyderabad also can get to 14, and Rajasthan Royals can also get to 14. So if Kings and Punjab win this match, they're in pole position to actually make the playoffs if they win their next match. So in the context of things, for the Kings and Punjab to get to 16, how important will this match be?
Very important. You only said very important. I mean, they couldn't have asked for a better situation. 2 back-to-back wins, and the momentum is there with them. They remember that. They were accelerated at the right time, unlike Delhi. They have that force. It's a team which a force, which KKR is not a force. You have, when you players stand in a row in one line, you call them a force, and this force is being produced by one man. It's called the Gale Force. And Gale Force should have been there from the first match they played, and the only person who advocated Chris Gayle to be inducted in the side was right in front of us, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, that is Prasen, who's always advocated that Gayle should be in the team. And from the time Gayle has come, I mean, not only with his powerful hitting, he's also got some luck, which was important, which they needed. And they were losing matches from winning positions, and they started winning those matches. And it's been quite a powerful side ever since then. This is how transformation happens. This is what comes back mean to cricket. We have heard stories. It's a fairy tale kind of a sort of run. 5 win, and they can win 2 more wins. Today's match and next match, they're right up there. 7 match, they would have won so many. They will be in the top 4 with so much of confidence, and they'll be one of the favorites to win the tournament if they can win these 2 matches. This is how cricket changes. This is how the complexion changes. It's like a chameleon. The color changes as per. So this is what a win can do to a team, and winning is a habit. And Kings 11 has already adopted it and embraced it so tightly. They're not going to let it go that easily.
Yeah, absolutely. Kings 11 Punjab have made a habit of winning matches, and that's very important in a high-profile tournament like the IPL, where every single match can change the fortunes immediately. And last time we saw how the Rajasthan Royals completely outplayed their opponents, and Ben Stokes 60 ball 107 laid the platform for a big win. But of course, a huge match today in the context of things. Kings 11 Punjab, if they get 2 wins from the remaining 2 games, they will get to 16 points and will be assured of a spot in the playoffs. Rajasthan Royals, on the other hand, if they lose this match today, they can finish only with 12 points, which all but knocks them out of contention for the playoffs. So, very important match, as our expert rightly mentioned. We'll need to see what happens. We'll need to enjoy the match rather than predicting and thinking of what might happen, what might not happen. Yeah. But for the analysis of the playing 11s and of course the fantasy tips for the Kings 11 Punjab versus Rajasthan Royals match later, do join us today at 7 p.m. For all those and more, as we'll discuss the match that is to happen in the evening. But for the review show of Chennai versus Kolkata, where CSK picked up a 6-wicket win and continued to pile misery on a team that our expert really doesn't believe in their philosophy that they followed so far. That's it from us, our cricket expert Indranil Basu and myself, Prasen Magar. Thank you so much, viewers, for tuning into our show, and do join us at 7 p.m. today. Thank you.
You.